time with those people than do you do your own family.
We are a family.
A tight-knit work family which will fall apart as GM Lordstown gets ready to close. That's happening in March when GM stops production in Lordstown. Thousands of people who rely on car building for their livelihood will see it go away.
27 First News is committed to bringing you stories about the Drive at Home campaign, and this one was so compelling on CBS this morning. We wanted to share it with you in its entirety. The emotions of the people that live here, work, and even retired from GM Lordstown are greatly impacted by this decision. CBS News contributor Steve Inskeep came to Lordstown to find out what residents are thinking now.
Nice's Country Cafe opens around dawn. It's just down the street from the GM plant that is the center of life in Lordstown, Ohio.
Hi there, guys. Good morning.
These retirees meet each Friday morning.
Do you want to have breakfast to it?
Some worked at a plant that has endured so long they doubt it's really shutting down.
41 years I've been there. 41 years I've heard this. I don't believe they're going to close.
David Farkas is hoping GM will revive the plant that supported his family.
Put 2 girls through college, have a new car, 2 new cars every year. Got a beautiful home. I did everything a rich man does because I was rich. General Motors money.
These retirees did well enough to collect classic cars, like the Chevy Impala Donna Schrader keeps in her garage.
This plant is so huge that since the 1960s it has produced 16 million vehicles. So huge that we had to drive 5 miles to go in a loop around it. Lordstown, home of the cruise. You get a sense of the pride in this community from that sign. This car was a big part of General Motors' recovery after the Great Recession, a popular car for years. Now GM is ending North American production because smaller cars are less popular, and that's bad news for this plant, no matter how well the workers have done their job.
It's also bad news for every business that serves GM workers, like Our Place Diner.
It's the majority of everything in this community.
Manager Jackie Woodward watched in recent years as GM laid off her husband, then her brother, and then everybody else.
What did you think when you heard?
My heart was broken. It's hard to see people that you've known your whole life, you've grown up with them, and then all of a sudden they have to pick up and they have to move their families.
We invited Ohio's senators to meet us for lunch. Democrat Sherrod Brown
I just retired. How many years?
and Republican Rob Portman are from different parties, but are friends who share a talent for working a room.
Your dad was active duty? Yes, sir.
And a desire to keep the plant open. Brown recalls President Obama's auto bailout.
You know, how many taxpayers saved this company? Oh. And then they get this huge tax cut.
Portman argues GM's prospects should be improving.
A few things have happened just in the last year in the Trump administration that would make it more advantageous to invest here. I got to have the GM chicken fenders.
Both met GM Chief Executive Mary Barra, who said she was open to ideas. For now, laid-off workers can transfer.
But it's not that simple. I mean, you own a house in Youngstown, and there's a plant closing or significant layoffs. Your chances of selling that house aren't very high.
As you guys know, the president came to this area in 2017 and said, industrial jobs are coming back, don't leave, don't sell your houses, it's going to be great. That hasn't turned out to be the case.
Well, some businesses have been helped a lot by his steel tariffs. There's a lot of great research and development going on here now, a lot of innovation, advanced manufacturing is big, so there's some positive things, but this one is it's a punch in the gut.
The restaurant manager at lunch put us in touch with some GM workers who've now arranged to meet us for dinner at the Sunrise Inn in the old manufacturing city of Warren, Ohio.
So many workers came to share their stories that we had to pull up extra chairs.
For me and my wife, having a disabled daughter, our whole support system for her is here. It's been a long fight with the schools and with getting everything to where it is. It's taken us 10 years and thousands of dollars. That if we have to move, is going to go back to square one.
So if General Motors says there's a job for you in Fort Wayne, there's a job for you in Flint, Michigan.
I either go there or I quit General Motors. And after 25 years, that's a hard pill to swallow.
Moving is hard when others need you to stay.
I take care of my elderly parents. It's hard. I take them to their appointments, go to the pharmacy, get them their meds.
We're not moving.
We're a blended family, and I see no use in...
He would have to be away from his son. My kids would have to be away from their dad.
I'm not doing that.
How many people here voted for Trump? 1, 2, 3, 4. About half of you.
Some still back him, but Marsh is like this Ohio county. He voted for Obama, then for Trump, and is deciding where to place his hope next.
My loyalty is done to either party. You know, I'm going to vote for who I think is talking the right at the right time.
For the people at this table, with almost 150 years of GM experience, the job was more than a job.
What have you loved about working for GM?
People. You spend more time with those people than you do your own family.
We are a family.
I included Nice's Country Cafe in a special report that I did in 2016 on GM Lordstown when we were celebrating 50 years of the plant and its impact. And then last week I traveled to Detroit and learned how sad layoff workers are to see a new car at the auto show, the Chevy Blazer, being built in Mexico instead of Lordstown. GM Lordstown, of course, planning to close its doors in March. If you have a friend who'd like to see that CBS story, tell them it's posted at WKBN.com along with all of our Drive It Home coverage.